Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Tron on the play for game 1. I'll keep this. We have 8 hits off the top for Tron lands. So let's do this. And worst comes to worst, we can do some shenanigans with a command to try and dig deeper. Also have some removal if all is dust. Just needs to find some payoffs. We are playing green for sowing Myco Spawn. Stitcher Supplier, Setharoth, possibly Yogg, Eldrazi Temple. So in that case, I'm tempted to actually exile the Stitcher Supplier here. Because if they have something that they want to sacrifice it to, they get the benefit of the graveyard fill. So I'm just going to exile it now. Whereas next turn, we're able to go K command and go digging a bit. We actually can set up the All is Dust on turn, 4? Overgrown Tomb Shock, 18. Dredger's Insight. Probably grabs the Trawler. I guess I could grab another Dredger's Insight. Chooses Marionette Apprentice, okay. And draw. There's Karn. 1, 2, 3. So I will tuck All is Dust for Karn the Great Warrior. 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus Karn. We could go for Liquid Metal Coating. Though I do get concerned that they could have a Grist, but they shouldn't have anything to sack. So in that case, yeah, Liquid Metal Coating seems decent here. Go Liquid Metal Coating and pass and hold in case they have a Bowmaster. Opponent's tinkin'. What you thinking about? Liquid Metal will disrupt your overall game plan. Spymaster's Vault. Is this a Grist? Or not? Rumble. Rumble resolves. There's an Unearth. Okay, so this is whatchamacallit, choose Verdant Cat. This is the whatchamacallit. Oh, why am I blanking on Soultrader? Yep, it's Soultrader combo. So we have Dismember. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In that case, I'll play a Forest. Play Liquid Metal Coating. Let's get rid of their green source. Plus... Oh, that's right. It is an artifact creature. Drain. I should have K-commanded prior to... Do I need to ramp exile here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, yeah. That way I can grab a leveler. And this still allows me to hold up a Dismember as well in case they have the Soultrader. hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can cash in 2 for the expedition map. That's not entirely necessary. Yeah, the Verdant Cat. 6 in hand. Again, we have Dismember. Could have probably gone Pith Needle for a Soultrader, but without the Marionette Apprentice, it's not really all too useful. I guess we also could have gone Tormod's Crypt, gone rid of the Grave Crawlers. There's a few different options available to us. But again, not too worried. We have enough interaction. Let's see. Marsh Flats. Didn't use the Verdant Catacombs. Why? Weird. They could be running Grist. If they play Grist, we can dismember the Servo. If they attack the Servo, I think I might block with a spawn, sack 2, and then Expedition map. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Go to blocks, block 1. On 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could go Eldrazi Temple so we can have the Allah's Dust. That seems reasonable here. And Stitcher Supplier feeds 1 into yard. There's Sephiroth. Flats fetch. 4. Swamp. Gravecrawler. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, we can all his dust next turn if we really want. There's Insight. 4 cards in hand. And draw Urza Tower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The main downside of that, of course, is then I can't hold up removal. But they'd only have 3 lands, so they wouldn't be able to go for it. So yeah, I think I will Allah's Dust. Clear the board. And we could minus Karn. They still have the Verdant Catacombs in hand. Am I worried about it, though? I guess that's the question of the day, right? They'll have 3 mana regardless. But then they need to be able to cast using mana. I guess I still haven't seen the Soultrader actually in yard, so they can't unearth it. In that case, let's get rid of the Spymaster's Vault. Plus Karn. And pass. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the Verdant Catacomb we've been waiting for. Attacks Karn down to 4. Yep. Verdant Catacomb fetch for what? There's a Soultrader. Oh, I did forget about that. Well, no, they forgot about that because treasures. It's Karn. Draw, TKS, play a tower. Let's start with the TKS, see what they have in hand. So I guess, no, if they had the flare, they could have already killed Karn. So TKS, always yield. There's the apprentice. We get rid of the apprentice. And then I will liquid metal coating a swamp. I'll plus Karn on the swamp. I'll dismember the Soul Trader before they can untap. Trade it down. We pass. And pass. Yeah, Verdant Cat and Bloodghast. Yeah, I do need to remember that if I don't have Karn on board, all they need is a creature on board to start the Warren Soultrader loop. But we got there. So this is Warren Soultrader, win for game 1. Let's take a look. All his dust is decent here. Ugin's decent. Sire's kind of mid, admittedly. Pithing Needle could probably come into main, or Disruptor Flute could come into main. One or the other. I kind of like bringing in the Flute. Could also bring in the EE and Chalice, arguably. In exchange for what? Like, TKS is good disruption. We don't technically need the Cavern of Souls, but we do need the green sources, so we keep that. I guess we can cut a Sire 7 deaths, but that means we can only bring in one card. I feel like Flute makes more sense there. That's one thing I will say about this list. It just doesn't have a lot of flexibility for sideboarding. Like, you can trade out 8-mana value spells pretty easily. Or 7-mana value spells, but beside that. Hits off top, we have 8 between a map and a tower, so I'll keep. 8 is my bare minimum. Which one's fetch? What's next best hit off top? Probably a soul land. Gravecrawler, yep. Draw. E-temp. Well, I did find the E-temp. Play the mine. Pass. And pass. We likely play the E-temp next turn. Bog. Tapped. Attack for 2. Down to 18. And draw. Forest. E-temp. Hold. Okay, Command X1, Ramp in Exile, most likely, because we don't want the Gravecrawler on board. Attacks for 2. Yep. Down to 16. Another Bog, Bolt. Is it a Warren Soultrader? It's a Fulminator Mage. Well, that's annoying. Ramp. Exile. Done. Pass. Fulminator Mage. Do you go after the Tron land or Soul land? Soul land. Okay. Draw. Mistakes were made. Hopefully, don't have an aggro soul. I guess you would need a creature. Hopefully, don't have a another Fulminator Mage in hand. 4. No Grave Trawler. I guess you could unearth it. Son of a. Yeah, that'll do it. Power plant done. Grave Trawler. Grave Crawler. I just want to say Grave Trawler. Fatal Push. Second response. Just be responsible. Phase change. Draw. Talisman does help. Yeah, I guess I should have played around the Unearth and exiled both, but then again I didn't realize I was going to draw into the tower now, did I? We'll play TKS, though we could also play Karn, go for Crypt. Oh, I have one card in hand. Let's see, we have E-Temp. If I Karn minus, I guess I could go for Crypt. It stops the loop, so that is a consideration. We also could just plus, because then it stops Soultrader from actually cashing in the treasures. Yeah, it's probably correct here. And pass, and pass. So you can sack a Grave Trawler, but you're not getting any real value out of it. Grave Crawler. I'm currently either sick or have a pseudocult. I'm a bit out of it, so apologies ahead of time. Well, what you gonna do here, friend? Attack Karn for 5, down to 1. Yep. Three, Soultrader. That's actually pretty annoying. All is dust. 4, 5, 6. Plus Karn on Talisman. And play TKS. TKS always yields. Take the Apprentice. And pass. No attacks. And pass. 2 Rumble. Probably takes the tower, I imagine. I'm actually not going to block this Talisman. It's more of a threat than anything. But they do need to get this off board. So I imagine that they will attack in with both Soultraders and the Gravecrawler. We'll block a Soultrader and call it. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd love a land. Yep, Karn down, Soultrader down. Sack it for a treasure. Draw. Ugin. Well, we already know it's a tower. 4, 5, 6. Yep. TKS. ETB. Yep. Pass. Go to combat. Might as well loosen up their life total. Pass. What do you draw? 3. Sephiroth, sack a Gravecrawler, or spawn. Either or. Oh, do I just lose? Yeah, I just lose, right? Because now they can sack the Crawler, flip the Sephiroth, play the Crawler. Yes. And then rinse repeat. So they stay at 9 while I drain. Yes. I'll concede. Yeah. Forgot for a second there they were playing Sephiroth because I was like, well, if they have the Marionette Apprentice, then I don't really care as much because of the life total. But the Sephiroth gets him there. Right. Okay. Let's run it back as is. Yeah. My thought process was that they wouldn't have enough attackers to deal with Karn, but then they play the second Soultrader. Missing Tron, but we do have Maiko to help with that. Just need a payoff. And we are one land away from Allah's Dust. If we had hit the Allah's Dust, then that Sephiroth would have been meaningless. Unfortunate. Really good draw for them. Horrible draw for me. Unfortunate. Mine, pass. And hold. On the off chance it's irrelevant. Probably won't be. They have a Thoughtseize, they take the Maiko spawn and I cry a bit. But you still have TKS and 3 more Maiko spawn for 7 hits off top on turn 3. Yep, I cry. So Maiko spawn's gonna be gone. Interesting. Well, that's not reassuring. K command is good though. Because that will give me K command X equals 1 after I cast the Maiko spawn. So that way we can disrupt their combo. My Master's Vault, Marionette Apprentice. We could also just get rid of the Apprentice right now. Oh, that works. Kick. Kick the Spy Masters. Always yield. Always yield. And we'll go for a tower. Yeah, we'll go for a tower. K command X equals 2. X equals 3. So we can either scry draw or exile. Might want to just scry draw next turn, to be honest. Dig for a threat. Because we untap. We have how much mana? 10. So we can X equals 10. Dig 10 deep. Make 10 spawns. There is Warren Soultrader in yard. Do you have an unearth? I might have an unearth, which in that case, I will K command, I suppose. Scry draw and exile out of yard. Gravecrawler, that's fine. And pass. And draw. Play a mine. We'll keep the green source up. Ten deep. bottom the lands. We have Ugin. We have Karn. We can Ugin and Karn. That is delightful. So Myco Spawn top, Devourer after, then Karn, then Ugin. So we'll exile the Gravecrawler. Always yield. Then Ugin plus. And then Karn. Ugin will exile the Marionette Apprentice. Always yield. Karn ETBs. And then we'll minus with Karn. And with Karn, I'll grab Tormod's Crypt. For Tormod's Crypt, where are you, friend? There you are. Tormod's Crypt cast. Target the Stitcher Supplier. And hold the Tormod's Crypt. No reason to attack at this point. We're on the defensive as we want to ult Ugin. And that should be the game, I'd imagine. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright, solid win against Warren Soultrader. We'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I will keep Foothill, Stomping Ground Shock for Stirrings. Could be Broodscale, could be Ramp. Either ways, we need to disrupt a potential Myco spawn. Pass and pass. We can bait them out with the Expedition map, thankfully. We're not completely dead. That's a Broodscale, so we want to land Karn ASAP. Pitch Stirrings. And Grove. Chooses Wooded Foothills. And passes. The problem is they could just win on the spot next turn if they have Broodscale plus Blade. Myco spawn. Play the Power Plant. Pass. And draw. Saga Trigger. I mean, we're clearly going to play Karn. The question is, Karn what? There's the E-Temp. Do you have the Blade and Broodscale? If you do, you win. Actually, do you win? Rumble, no. There's Broodscale, there's Blade. There's Broodscale, there's Flesh Ray. Chooses Broodscale. Bobble's fine. Mainly stops the Ugin ult. So we could just grab a forest here so we can Myco spawn kick at some point. That's a thought. Otherwise, we could grab a second tower. That way we can... Second tower's interesting thought. No, I think I will grab a green source. Let's grab a forest. And draw. There's tower. So I can just go Karn into Pithy Needle, Karn the Flute. I can't go Karn into anything too meaningful. Karn the EE, no. For 0, sure. Pithy Needle's probably the best bet. I guess we could go Torpor Orb, actually. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not a half bad idea. It gets rid of the Flesh Raker combo, part of the deck. And they can't Ballista me. If they have 2 blades, that's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, Torpor Orb's not a bad idea here. Could also Chalice on one. Yeah, I'm thinking Torpor Orb. So in that case, Karn minus, yes. I guess there is one concern here. How many types do you have in Yard Friend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is actually concerning. The thing is, I can't EE for 0 because of Vexing Bauble. Shit. We could instead Liquid Metal Coating for the E-Temp. That actually might be what I need to do, unironically. Because if I don't, I could just lose to an Emrakul. Huh. Yeah, that might be the better play here. And I guess we could Ensnaring Bridge. Actually, how did they get out of this with an Ensnaring Bridge on board? They'd specifically need a Boseiju, right? They take control of my turn plus bridge. So in that case, yeah, I think I go Liquid Metal. As counterintuitive as that feels, I'll get their upkeep. We're gonna Liquid Metal the E-Temp and pass. I just don't want them playing an Emrakul if I can help it. Yeah, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Might, sure. We can strip mine 2 lands next turn with the Myco. Could also EE for 1. Chrysalis. I have blockers, so I'm not too concerned there. And draw. Ugin. Ugin is a clock. So let's start with Temple down. Go for a tower. And then for TKS. So Broodscale Ballista, another Chrysalis. I mean, I want to get rid of the Broodscale here. They'll play the Chrysalis. A bit annoying, but without the red source, it should be okay. Liquid Metal. And plus. Triggers the blade. Yep. And pass. Next turn, we can grab a Cityscape Leveler. Get rid of the Chrysalis. We'll block Chrysalis with Myco Spawn, not TKS. We don't want them drawing a card if I can help it. Yep, I'll feed you the Myco spawn. And I could very well just lock you out of the game by going Trinisphere here. Yeah, we could just go Trinisphere lock. 1, 2. So 7, 10, 11, 11, 13. Yeah, don't switch it up. Yeah. I was about to say, between Seascape Leveler, between Trinisphere Lock, we should have this in the bag. Against Basking Broodscale, good stuff. Bring in a Flute and cut a Sire. Actually, cut all his dust. Hold up. All his dust is out. They are on the basic and fetch plan, so we could go Sundering Titan or bring in the Cityscape. I'm kind of tempted to go Sundering Titan. It's not as impactful, but removing 2 lands is something to be considered. Dismember is fantastic here. We don't want to cut Dismember. So I am thinking Leveler or Titan. Leveler probably has more overall utility, as we can pop a Blade or pop a problematic card. So we'll go Leveler, cut all his dust in full. All his dust is doing very little here. Yeah, the five talismans, plus the other 3 green sources seem to be enough for the most part. I think when I ran it through MTGO on curve, rather, I think with Myco spawn like on curve, it's like a what, 85% chance, which isn't bad. So if you just go turn 1 mine, turn 2 power plant talisman, turn 3 land for Myco spawn, should be pretty reliable. The people running like 3 talismans I think are insane. There's Flute, there's Karn. It's off top here. I mean, we can Flute. The only problem is this feels extraordinarily slow. I'm gonna mulligan. That's not much better. We can make it work though. Pitch an Ugin, done, and pass. Urza's Saga, draw, Sire. I'm gonna actually tuck the Sire instead of the Ugin. Play a map and pass. And pass. Grow the Burn Willows. Yep. Paying cost for Rumble. You just claim command out, grabs the Cavern. Draw. Karn. So here's a interesting play. If they have the Broodscale, they can win. So I think what I'll do is play a Forest. Okay, Command X1, Exile, and Ramp. And done. This ensures they can't win next turn unless they have a Ballista in hand. We'll pass. Float. So if they have the Broodscale Ballista, then it is what it is at that point. I'd be just a turn too slow. Might. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Temple. Paying cost 4. Or not. 3, 4, 4. Okay, command? What is this? TKS? Thief. Eats the map. Sure. Blade. Okay, well that's concerning for obvious reasons. TKS, we could Myco spawn. So yeah, this is annoying for a lot of reasons. They clearly couldn't win last turn. But they could win this turn. The thing is, if I play the TKS, there's no guarantee I can play the Mycospawn or Karn next turn. If I play the Karn, Karn's going to take some beats, and there's no guarantee I can follow up with a Mycospawn or TKS. Whereas if I play the Mycospawn, at least then I can play the Karn or TKS next turn, but I could just lose on the spot. I'll play the Mycospawn. It's not ideal, admittedly. And we'll go for a lab. Lab imprint, Ugin, and pass. And hold in case of a Seiju. If you have the Broodscale, you have the Broodscale. Cavern of Souls. Well, I guess if you have the Broodscale, you still can't win yet. Yeah, because you can play Equip, but you would need a Ballista for 0. Yeah. How many types do you have in yard? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Short on Emrakul. Rumble. Speaking of Emrakul, do you take the Emrakul? Like I said, you are short. Chooses Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3. 3 short right now. We can TKS out the Emrakul. Probably what we want to do. Equip Blade to Thief. Thief will attack. No blocks. Yep. And draw. There's a tower. We like to see that. I guess the question is now, do we TKS our Karn? I think I need to TKS. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's very possible they play Emrakul, so yeah, we'll TKS. And there's Basking Broodscale. And a second Blade. I have to take the Basking Broodscale then, because if I don't, then they have a board full of infinite spawns, and infinite Thief, infinite Haywire Might, which I have to block both of. So we take the Basking Broodscale. And I will pass and pass. We could double block Thief. Not really something that I'm interested in doing. 2 Cavern of Souls. Plays the Blade. Equips the Blade. We'll take the 3. I might have to 0 or minus Karn for Tormod's Crypt is the only problem. Because I don't want this Emrakul landing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here's the mine. KGC. We know they're going to go after the KGC. Ooh, I do have an idea though. Minus? Yes. I guess we could EE for 1 and get rid of the blades. So there's a few paths here that intrigue me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The thing is, if I go EE for one, it actually gets them towards the Emrakul, which I do not like. We could obviously just Tormod's Crypt. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If they find a soul land, they have the Emrakul, so I think I need to Tormod's Crypt. Either that, or since we do have perfect knowledge of what's in hand, we could go Stonebrain. No, not this turn. I guess actually Bridge is pretty backbreaking here. Yeah, let's go Bridge. They specifically need a Thief or a Wayscape or a Boseiju. Because even if they take control of my turn, they can't attack with Bridge. Yeah. And this leaves me to my own devices. Minus Karn. Play Ugin. Wooded Foothills. No attacks. I will draw. Map. In that case, I don't need to minus Karn. Expedition map. Wooded Foothills fetch. Stomping Ground tapped. Okay, not sure why you do that now. Search for a power plant. Play a power plant. Return Ugin the hand. Play Ugin. Trigger. Done. Always yield. Plus. Draw card. Karn minus. Yes. For a Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt, Ugin, nothing, always yield. And let's go to their upkeep. Tormod's Crypt, target you, and pass in full. And Bone Scoops up. Alright, solid win. We'll be back for match number 3. Alright, and we're back for match number 3 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep. We have 8 hits off the top for Tron. Marsh Flats for what? Could be energy. Looking like energy. There's an E-temp. So I'm actually tempted to go E-temp here. The reason there being is that if I draw into a 7-mana value spell, we have K-Command X2 next turn. We'll play the map. And pass. And pass. We'll take the 1 from Ocelot Pride. Yep. Plains. Bombardment. Bombardment is a bit frustrating, admittedly. There's TKS. So, I mean, I can K-command the Ocelot Pride. Makes sense to do so. Any reason to do it before they untap? Probably not. But I guess we could just scry draw exile and call it a day. I'll pass. Hold the K command. Need an all is dust. Main. Combat. I will scry draw exile. Because ramping here doesn't really do me much since they'll ping it anyways. Ocelot Pride down. Scry draw, bombardment. Yep, not much I can do about that. There's tower, top, and pass. So we do have enough for Tron coming up. We just need a payoff. There's the mine. In that case, I will play a talisman. I guess so. Here's kind of twofold, right? We could play the TKS here. We have another map, so I don't really care if they static prison. So TKS. Let's take a peek. You could have a discharge plus sack. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that sure is a hand you have. I'll rip the Flage, because that's the real threat. You can discharge and then sack the cat. I think that's the right move. Yeah. And pass. If nothing else, you might as well play the bombardment. Johnny. So I now would really love an All Is Dust. Or a Sire's 7 deaths. 16, down to 15, a theoretical 14. Draw. Mine. So, crack the map. Play a power plant. Play a power plant. Play a map. I guess play a talisman. Play a map. No reason to crack it right now, though I guess we can play a map, crack a map. Yeah. That way we can try and thin. I'll grab another tower. So we have all the mana in the world. I just need something to use it on. On my upkeep, I think I will crack the map to thin again. Because we can play everything in our deck. Ugh, Ragavan. You're going to hit Ugin, I can tell. Either that or an All's Dust. Down to 11. Temple, thank you. And Johnny, down to 8. A theoretical 5. And then I will crack a map. For a tower. Give me something good here. Son of a bitch. 4 down to 4. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. Brutal. I tried. Alright, so that is energy. Loss for game 1. Energy. What is it good for? So on the play, there's an argument for Chalice of the Void. All His Dust is good. Sire's good. Ugin's decent. Do I actually want to cut anything? Dismember's kind of okay. I actually am tempted to go EE Chalice instead of Dismember here. I don't care about Clarion Conqueror as much as the next. So I think this should be fine. We've had good success with EE and Chalice on the play against energy in the past. And so I think this makes sense to me. Whereas Dismember traditionally doesn't play as well into energy because of the life loss. Alright, on the play for game 2. So 8 hits off the top of the first draw. I'll keep. So we could draw into either map or into tower. I'll pass and pass. Otherwise, 8 hits for soul lands for a K command X1, 1, 2. Otherwise, we can just chalice for 1 next turn. Ragavan, rude little monkey. There's a map. In that case, I will play the expedition map and pass and pass. They static prison it, right? The next turn we can chalice on 1 or K command X1. Do you have a static prison or a wear tear? What did you hit, by the way? You had a TKS. I would have liked that, but if I get to 7, that's all I care about right now. 3, Pyro, pitch for double Titan. Yeah, that'll do it. Draw, Devourer, crack map for tower, play tower. We have command X1. I will hold, hit the Ragavan. You get in combat, K command, ramp exile, hit down the Ragavan. Ragavan down, we have a spawn, we'll hold on the off chance it's relevant. Take the 4 down to 14. Arena of Glory. Clarion Conqueror, yeah, that's fine. Draw. So in that case, I will Ugin, exile Clarion Conqueror. Always yield. I could 0 Ugin instead. I'm going to draw. I'm going to chalice for 0. Ugin, exile Pyro, always yield. And pass. I guess zeroing Ugin would have gotten me to Karn. Static Prison, target Ugin. That's fine, I have more where that came from. Attack, take 2 down to 15. Yep. Paying costs, bombardment, ping a spawn. Draw. Map. Map is mana neutral. So map. Crack map. Grab a tower. Play a tower. Play Devourer. Devourer will exile the static prison. Plus Ugin. And pass. And pass. Yeah, the thing is at this point, yeah, you have a hard time dealing with that board stay. So win for game 2. We no longer want Chalice in here. The EE is still good. We could bring in another 7-mana Vice spell in Leveler or Sundering Titan. Could just bring in another Dismember, which I think is maybe reasonable. Ballista, not doing too much. Crypt, no. Haywire might, no. Pithy Needle's a thought. Could name a Johnny, could name Bombardment. That's a consideration. We have a flute as well. We could go flute. Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. We also could keep Chalice, but it is just so much better on the play than it is on the draw. I'll bring in a flute. Do I bring a flute or dismember? Bring in a flute, yeah. Run it back. Alright. On the draw for game 3. At least I presume so. Never know. Maybe opponent will let me go first for a change. 8 hits off the top. Or, yeah, 8 hits off the top. Otherwise, we are looking at a Miko spawn. I'll keep. I'll pass. I mean, if we land the Sire, we're in business. Arid Mesa fetch, Sacred Foundry shock for Ragavan. Yep, Ragavan's the worst thing I could have seen there. TKS, play map. And pass. And pass. Next turn, we could grab a soul land, actually. Well, there is some consideration for doing so rather than a Tron land. I think we draw into a Tron land, then we probably will go for a Tron land. But otherwise, there is consideration for instead going for a soul land. Ragavan hit, down to 18. And sees a K command, would've liked that. But then again, I wouldn't really have been able to cast it. Guide of Souls, no Ocelot Pride, another map. The other map makes that interesting. Play Tower. I will pass, or do we Talisman? If I Talisman, then I can crack the map. No. Well, play the Talisman, we crack the map. Then, no. Alright, we'll pass. I have an idea of what I want to do for sequencing. Go to combat. No reason to crack the map. They grab a Tron land, they'd grab a Tron land, it's fine. Down to 15, Ragavan trigger, hits a Myco spawn. Do you have another land? You could ramp. Just saying, could ramp. Ocelot Pride, that's annoying. The Sire 7 nuts will help though. Would love an Allah's Dust, admittedly. 2 treasures. You didn't cash them before, so you drew into something. So you have an interactive hand, end step, trigger. Yeah, I think we just go for soul land, not soul land here, Tron land here, since we have the second map. Like I said, it seems like their hand's rather interactive. Because they must have just drawn into the Ocelot Pride, otherwise they probably would have played the Pride last turn. Would be my thought, at least. Crack the map. Grab a mine. Tease a mine. And pass and pull. And draw. Talisman. So I will play a map. I'll pass. And we'll hold. It's turn 4 Tron's a bit late. We'll take 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 10. Ragavan hit, Ragavan finds. Eaten, that's fine. Plays a land finally, fetches 19 for a plains. Why would you do that? Okay. Confusion. Grab a power plant. Pass. Plays a Terrain, plays a Charmal, question mark? That's my only explanation here. Blood Moon. Yeah, that's annoying, admittedly. We have TKS for a blocker. So, Blood Moon is there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting thought. I mean, TKS might slow him down. Actually, I can't even play TKS. So in that case, yeah, we have to go the Talisman route. And pass. And the question then becomes, is Ugin or Sire correct? Ugin can exile Moon. Sire can block, push us back up to 9. Rockland hits a K command. Do you have a Goblin Bombardment? You do. That is a loss. Yeah, the Blood Moon was brutal. Not much can be done about that. Yep. And dead. Alright. Well, that Blood Moon will do it. That makes sense why they wear Teared, I guess. Kind of. I guess they're trying to play around to besiege you, potentially. But regardless, sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. With that being said, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4. On the draw for game 1, I'll keep... We're looking at... what? 7 hits off the top for Soul Land for K Command. 2 on 2 would be my initial thought. Otherwise, Talisman would be good. Let's see, there's Power Plant, there's Map. So this is actually interesting numbers-wise, which one we want to grab, whether it be the Map or the Power Plant, and here's why. If we go for the Map, then off the top we have 7 hits, because we have 4 mines, 3 power plants. If I grab the power plant, I actually only have 4 hits off the top with the mine. So from like a numbers perspective, I think we go for the Map. Redraw. Power, Map, pass. Then next turn we can always tuck the Devourer for K Command X1. Looks like this might be Zoo. Could be Zoo, could be Creativity. Flooded Strand, fetch. Temple Garden, so it's Zoo. Leyline Binding for the map. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. Draw. Talisman. In that case, I'm thinking we go Lab. Imprint. And Talisman. And pass. Next turn we can Myco Spawn, or we can Karn. We can also K Command X2, allowing us to kick a Myco Spawn. That's actually a consideration. And actually it would be X equals 3, wouldn't it? Hasting a Sign of Thraco, or a Kavu. Kavu, yep, nothing much we can do about you right now. And a Ragavan, Bolt. Okay. So they're just kind of trying to race to the bottom at this point. Makes sense. Kavu, discard a card, draw a card, 2 in hand, exerted land, draw. E-Temp. In that case, play the E-Temp. I will play around a Stubborn Denial and ramp an Exile now to... Actually, we have 6, don't we? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could kick the Xander's Lounge, shrink the Kavu. Let's do that. Kick, exile, always yield, always yield. In which case, we can grab a power plant, or I can grab an E-temp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna grab an E-temp for the reason that we can play Devourer next turn. Kavu's a 2/2, and Glory's Exerted. Sacred Foundry, 3/3. Tribal Flames. Attack for 3. Yep, we'll exile the Kavu. Down to 8, 1 card in hand. Why? So you like whatever you have in hand, basically. That's what tells me. Another Myco spawn. We could shrink the Kavu further. Interesting. I actually am not beyond that idea. Urza's Tower. Kick the Myco. This does put me down to 7, admittedly. Let's get rid of the red source so you can't haste anything. And then I'm going to go for the power plant. This way you can hold up a K command, X2. They don't have Tribal Flames or even Tribal Flames mana. Or rather, sorry, they don't have Stubborn Denial. And Bone Scoop. Alright, solid win against Zoo. Win for game 1. Let's go to sideboard. So, sideboarding here, All's Dust is fantastic. Crypt, meh. Haywire Might is okay, actually. Dismember's decent. Pith Needles. I guess the biggest thing is, what do I don't even want to cut? Ugin kind of can be a bit hit or miss. The thing is, they should be cutting their Leyline of the Guild Pact since I play Allah's Dust. I do want Sunbrain Titan, though. And even Leveler feels decent. I also wonder, you know what I should have done in the energy matchup? I really should have cut Karn. Karn's pretty weak into that matchup, admittedly. Karn's pretty weak into Zoo as well. Like, we could do Dish. Chalice isn't doing great, neither is EE. No, no, no. Hair Might's decent. So we could cut 3 Karn here and just kind of fall back onto much more of a mid-range plan. That's an idea. Yeah, because Karn really doesn't do much into the face of like Kavu or Sinatraco. Alright, let's run back like this. On the draw for game 2. Yeah. Four hits off the top for natural Tron. It'd also be okay seeing a Myco spawn, since we could angle for that. Mesa fetch. 4 Steam Vent Shock, 4 Ragavan. Here's the Ragavan. Draw. Allah's Dust is fantastic. Alright, I'll pass. Let's see if you have a Leyline Binding. Wooded Foothills, you could. You need a Temple Garden. I guess not with the Ragavan hit. Finds Ugin. That would have been nice to have. But we're okay. Wooded Foothills fetch for a Temple Garden Shock. Down to 14 for Damp Sphere. Damp Sphere is annoying. Draw. Urza Tower. In that case, we will go Talisman and pass. We did bring in the Might. I guess that's one argument for Beseiju over Cavernous Souls, admittedly. Ragavan hit. K command, you can't play it. We can K command X equals 2 and then set up for an All's Dust the turn after. That is a consideration. We do need to play around a Stubborn Denial and Consign to Memory though. Foothills fetch Blood Crypt. Yep. So you have all 5. And what this? That's a bold move, Cotton. You should have cut that, and you know it too. I'll play the Urza Tower and pass. Oh, I should have actually played the K command, damn it. Yeah, that's on me. I should have played the K command, exiled the Ragavan, and ramped. That was genuinely a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because now if they counter this, I'm in trouble. Tribal Flames, yep. Down to 9. End step. K command, ramp, scry draw. I guess technically this is fine. Because if this gets countered, then the All's Dust would have gotten countered, right? Yeah, I guess from that perspective, that makes sense. They have to sacrifice a treasure. Consign, yep. And draw. Devourer. So in that case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will play TKS as a blocker and rip the last card out of your hand. Looks like you'll counter it anyways of a consign. Alright. 0 cards in hand. So yeah, I guess actually the K command is fine. I guess getting rid of the Ragavan though would have been good. Give and take. Myco Spawn would have liked that. I guess you could play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would cost you your treasure, admittedly. Paying cost. It does ramp you. And also does potentially present lethal. Yeah, so arguably I think it still would have been right for me to ramp exile the Ragavan. And then we could have used the TKS as an in to try and get the All's Dust off. There's the power plant. This is 5 damage though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will pass. Yeah, so I think it did misplay, even though it kind of quote-unquote worked out. I think I did misplay by not playing the K command when their shields were down. Down to 2. Do you have a bolt? You have another Myco Spawn. Tribal Flames will do it. Yeah, just from the life loss alone in retrospect, I should have K commanded. Because Ragavan was left unattended, it was able to grab my Myco Spawns, yada yada yada, yeah. That's fully on me. I'll run it back as is. Yeah, because if I had done that, we could have then TKS. They would have countered the TKS. We could have then grabbed the land off of map. I guess no, we wouldn't have done that because it would have cost us a spawn. Yeah, that one's kind of interesting. This one's less interesting. I'm trying to think. I mean, a soul land, 7 hits off top, Devourer. I'll keep it. Actually is okay. Trigger, 7 hits. There is the mine. Grab the mine. Play temple. Map. Pass. Pass. So that way, next turn we play the mine, play the talisman, and hold dismember. They play the Ragavan, we just straight up dismember it. Yep. Draw. Mine. Talisman. And dismember now. This way we can K command X2 next turn. X3 if we draw into a land. Mesa fetch. For what? Plains. Dash to Ragavan. That's interesting. You have nothing else you wanted to play that turn. Freaking hell, of course you grab a tower. I mean, it has 8 hits off the top, I suppose. Yeah. So now I have 7 hits off the top for Tron. Plays another Ragavan. Oh, so yeah, triple Ragavan hand. Weird. Draw. Talisman. So we can either cash in the map or we can play the talisman. Cashing the map is interesting because we could just make it mana neutral by grabbing another soul land. Soul land might be the right move. Otherwise, we can grab the talisman and then X1. I will cash in the map for a lab. Play the lab. Imprint Devourer. Play the talisman. And then K command the Ragavan. And done. And pass and hold. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So even if they deal with the spawns, we still have the sire. Feels like consign. Draw. I will play into the consign. And pass. No consign. Leyline binding? Question mark. Wooded Foothills, fetch. Triumph or Surveil? I mean, if you Triumph, you have a binding. Right now, 1, 2, 3. It costs you 3. Interesting. Okay. Ring of Glory to Yard. You really have nothing? Bolt to 11. Pass in full. I guess actually I should hold in case of Flage. Alright. And draw. Mine. Go to combat. Attack with Sire. Does it connect? 14. Do you have a binding? Temple Garden. Tapped. Binding. Binding. They go down to 7, which makes this second Sire pseudo hexproof if it resolves. Play the mine. And Sire. Alright, pseudo hexproof. Next turn we can Devourer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tribal Flames down to 7. Tribal Flames down to... Wait. Opponent? They want to go out on their own terms? Pays for the ward? You got it. Alright. Solid win against Zoo. Yeah, definitely misplayed a bit in game 2, but we were able to rally back, so we'll be back for match number 5. Alright, we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. I mean, we'll keep this, reveal with Devourer, play the map. We're looking for a threat at this point. I mean, Myco spawn, so 7, 7, 6, kick Myco spawn, otherwise Karn. Karn's good, or Myco spawn. That's an interesting choice. Karn can give us access to our sideboard. Myco spawn can also kick a land. Karn can destroy lands too. And then power plant, map, pass, pass. Street Wraith. Is this what I'm thinking it is? Is it looking at Blood Crypt? Another Goyf? No. Could be instead Death Shadow would be my thought. In which case ooh. Okay, was not expecting that. You gave me a Sire 7S, I'll take that. So this is Hollow One? Haven't seen Hollow One in a hot minute. Put a pause on end step. And crack the map, grab a mine. Grab a mine. Draw. We could get rid of the Mako, or we could play a Sire. I'm thinking Sire here, honestly. I'll play Sire 7 Deaths. That way they can't fly over. And pass. And pass. And Punch comes up. Alright, so this is Hollow One. Been a while since I played against Hollow One. Karn traditionally is a bit weak here. The problem is what I even bring in for it. We don't have much. For Hollow One, like Chalice on One's not bad on the play, but we're on the draw anyways. EE's good. Dismember's decent. Might just run it back as is, honestly. Yeah. All this does is a bit mid, I suppose. I guess I could have brought in Leveler and Titan. We'll mulligan this hand. This hand's not much better. Hits all the tops of a mana value spell for a K command X1 on 2. Not feeling great about that though. I'll mulligan again. This is better. 4 hits off top for K command. So pitch a, actually, pitch a Temple, pitch a Myco spawn. Done. This way we can try and angle for turn 2 Karn. Do you have Burning Inquiry on one? Mako. K command, okay. We're still going to tuck the Sires, that way we can insulate it from Burning Inquiry. We have K command for 0. If needed. Street Wraith trigger. Land, pass. 2 down to 18, draw. There's Devourer. I mean, this is a K command X2, so we do have 7 for Devour next turn. So in that case, I'm going to hold the K command X2. Bowmaster, yes. Bowmaster ping. If they try and fire off the Inquiry, we'll exile the Bowmaster. Faithless looting, yep, that's fine. Double Detective's Phoenix. Well, that's fascinating. Bloodstained Mire. Nethergoyf. Yeah, that's fine. Inquiry. In response, I will ramp, I will exile you. And done. Alright, and not much else can be done there, so let's see what sticks. Oofda. I can't even play that even if I find a land. That's a bit rough. Take 7 down to 10. Sorry, 8 down to 9. And draw. Yeah, I think they might have this one. Tower. So funny, if I had played the Lab, Tuck the Devourer, I could have played the Ugin. I'm not sure that would actually would have mattered, funny enough. Actually, no, it would have, because I could have zeroed, then I would have exiled, zeroed, exile, exile. Yeah. Can I do anything here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we'll concede. That's a concession right there. Yeah, if I had tucked the Devourer instead of playing the Temple, we could play the Ugin. Unfortunate. I will run it back. Still a lot of good opportunities for Ald's Dust. Gonna play. 8 hits off the top. I'll keep. I'd also be fine with some soul lands off the top too. Otherwise, we're looking at a TKS on turn 3, which is fine. And pass. Blood Crypt, Nethergoyf, yep. Draw. Mine, perfect. Pass. So if we can land a Sire's gonna be very hard for them to deal with. Street Wraith, cycle. Nethergoyf gets buffed. Inquiry, looting, that's fine. Pitching. On the fresh LU Bloodghast? Bloodghast, yeah, look at that. I wonder if this even is Hollow One. I'm not sure if they actually have it. Go to end step. Take 3, down to 17. Rush Flats fetch. Blood Crypt shock. 4. Thoughtseize takes Sire's 7 deaths. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I will crack the map for tower. Draw. K command. So I can TKS as a blocker and strip from hand. FOMO, Inquiry, Bowmaster. You can Bowmaster Inquiry next turn. FOMO I'm not as worried about. I will get rid of the Bowmaster. If you Inquiry, I'm kind of fine with that, to be completely honest. And pass. Paying cost for what? Mako. Okay. Inquiry. I will K command, ramp and exile, ramp, exile. I guess I could exile, exile. That actually might be right. So let's exile, exile, exile Mako, and then exile Street Wraith. Done. That way they can't Detectives Phoenix. Mako's down, and Phoenix should be much harder to deal with. Oofda. Would have liked that Mako spawn, but at least I didn't draw into as many duds, question mark. They pitched Bloodghast. They kept the Bloodstain Mire? No, they pitched the Bloodstain. The combat. Block the Bloodghast. Down to 15. Arena of Glory trigger. 2 more Bloodghast. Would love an Allah's Dust. Draw. Asking you shall receive. So 8, 6, 7. Allah's Dust. And how does Bloodghast read? This creature has haste as long as an opponent has 10 or less life. Attack of TKS. Pass. You're gonna haste the FOMO. Haste FOMO. That's a bold move, Cotton. What did you pitch? A hollow one? Down to 11. Draw a card. Lab. I'll attack. Down to 2. Play a talisman. The reason play a land will pass. I mean, if you have a blocker, you won't attack. We're not at 10, so you don't have haste yet. But now you have blockers for days. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, admittedly. FOMO, target self, down to 9. So I'd love Ugin. I'd love another Allah's Dust. We're down to 2. Oh shit, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, it's, you have another combat phase. Down to 3. Do you have a bolt to finish me? Fetch the 1. Mountain. And bolt? No. What is this? Give me a Allah's Dust. Ugin. Ugin. Exile FOMO. Always yield. Kind of wish I held that talisman. Draw. E-temp. Shit. Yeah, I completely blanked on how FOMO worked for some reason. Play the E-temp and pass. I mean, they have to know if I had something They would have just won here. I would have just won. If I held the Talisman, I would have won. Because we would have exiled the FOMO, played the Talisman, exiled the Netherglyph, and won. I guess I shouldn't have played the Talisman, knowing that it can act as a 2-mana removal for Ugin. Yeah. Faithless Looting. I mean, they should just attack. If they don't attack me, that's a huge mistake. Oh, well, that works. Damn. So I messed up across the board. Yeah. So, 2 things I did wrong there. A, playing that Talisman haphazardly. If I hadn't played the Talisman, I got 7 plus Force Talisman, meaning that I still could have played the Talisman. I need to remember that sometimes, like, oh, it's a Talisman, it's whatever, right? I might as well play it because that's extra mana. But I need to also remember that because of Ugin, it is at times just 2-mana removal. And if I had held the Talisman, then I could have played the Ugin, exiled the FOMO, played the Talisman, exiled the Netherglyph, swung in for lethal. Second mistake, of course, was not respecting the FOMO, forgetting how it works. I was like, okay, they'll attack with the FOMO. The Bloodghast won't have haste, so, like, whatever. Forgetting that it gives you an additional combat step. For some reason, like, just like, oh, it, like, allows the creature to attack again. No, it's an additional combat step, specifically. Completely just blanked on that for some reason. It's been a hot minute since I played against it, so it just kind of left my mind on how it worked. And with that and Bloodghast together, that's pretty good. So probably should have respected the FOMO a bit more than I did, because if I had, then they wouldn't have been able to haste. I would have been at a higher life total. Ugin would have been able to probably allow me to recover. So, yeah. Some pretty bad mistakes. Like, the first attack, I think, is excusable because I think they played the FOMO after playing the Arena of Glory. I'm actually kind of curious now. Because I knew about the FOMO, but I don't know if I knew about the Arena of Glory. So, let's see. Draws a card, cast FOMO. No, I think I already knew about the Arena too. Shit. Yeah, so with the Arena, I probably should have just left back the TKS after knowing that they could haste the FOMO in retrospect. Because if I had done so, then I could have blocked it instead of taking 4 for no reason. Yeah. And then from there, I exiled the Mako instead of the Netherglyph. Was that right? Mako would have gotten big. But Netherglyph... Yeah, I mean, I still think it was right to exile the Mako at the time with the K command. No, we exiled the Bowmaster, right? Because of the Inquiry? Right. Never mind. That's right. Yeah, so I think the main mistakes were A, attacking the TKS as aggressively as I was into the face of FOMO. And then B, playing the Talisman knowing I could have drawn into an Ugin. Because at that point, if I'm already, like, fully bought into the aggressive plan, I should play around the idea that if I drew into Ugin, and just in general, I should just have the thought of, if I play Ugin and I have extra mana, a Talisman's 2-mana removal. Like, that should be a thought that I keep in the back of my mind, and I clearly didn't. So, that's my bad. I definitely could have won that game, I think. Either by playing less aggressively, or B, by holding the talisman for the Ugin. Unfortunate. But it is what it is. You make mistakes, learn from them, you move on. With that being said, that there will be the end of today's league at a 3-2 record at the end of 5. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback would be much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button, as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. At which point, I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, allowing me to start saving up towards a streaming PC so we can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, you can support me monetarily over on Patreon, where you get early access to my YouTube videos. With that being said, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!